Hello, Box1 here, and today we will be looking at this 2015 set. This is set 71016, the Kwik-E-Mart, from The Simpsons, of course. It has 6 figures, one of which is very expensive, the police car, and the actual Kwik-E-Mart itself. So, without further ado, let's get into the figures. And the first figure in this set is Bart Simpson, of course, one of the main characters in the show, obviously. And he has this little, spray bottle here that he's going to be writing random things on the Kwik-E-Mart. He has very cool, I guess you could call this tri-molded legs or dual-molded legs, whatever you call it, with the 3 different little things there. He has dual-molded arms, and he has a very nice head mold, which is pretty cool. And this, I believe this print's exclusive. There are a couple different sets that come with Bart, but this, I believe, head is exclusive here. The next figure of this set, of course, is Homer Simpson, and he has these lighter blue legs. He has a white shirt, of course, with the belly, of course, and he has dual-molded arms, no back printing, but a very nice head, and that does have some printing, and this actually is raised, these top prints, but this one is just flat printed on there. You can see that very cool head shape there. I quite like this figure. This is actually one of my favorites in this entire set. But picking a favorite is pretty hard to do, especially when you have such great figures, and this one is definitely one of them. This is Marge Simpson, and she has the massive hair on top of her head, and she's also carrying a banana. That goes in the store. I just have her carrying it for some reason. She does come with this nice purplish pink basket, lavender basket. There we go. And she has this cloth little cape, or thingamabobber that she wears. The one side is open. I think it's supposed to be that way because there's no other way to really get it closed. But yeah, pretty cool figure. Very, very nice. The next figure in the set, the actual person who works at the Kwik-E-Mart, Apu. And he's pretty cool. He has this very light blue, shirt here. I forget what you'd call it, like a minty blue, I guess. I don't know the actual color name now that I think about it. He has the little chest hair on him. And he has a very cool head mold, has that hair up there. Very nice there. He has a broom, and I don't think he has back printing, no. And he does have dual molded legs with a very cool flesh tone that really wouldn't be seen too much at this time. So that's very cool. Quite a cool figure. The next figure in the set is Chief Wiggum, and he has the actual donut print on him, or the donut frosting print on him, both on his mouth and on his torso. He does have a police badge, no back printing, but he does have some arm printing with those little thingamabobbers on either side. He has handcuffs, and he has this little baton, and actual handcuffs as well, as the printed ones. But yeah, he's quite a cool figure with that very nice police hat. That's actually attached to his head, that isn't a separate piece. But he's quite a cool figure. And we will now be looking at who he actually tries to capture. And that is, of course, Snake, one of the most expensive figures in this set, I believe. I think Chief Wiggum is the next, and actually the most expensive figure of all the Simpsons, which is pretty cool. He does have the snake tattoo on his arm there, as you can see, and he does have dual-molded arms as well. He has a very nice vest on, or a shirt like that, and some pretty common pants, and a very cool head. Look at that. Very nice. With the big raised upper lip, which looks really cool. And the very nice hair. I actually quite like that hairstyle. Pretty cool. Anyway, that's it with the figures. And honestly, one of the best figure lineups I've seen in a set for a long time. They're just all exclusive and all really cool. So, without further ado, let's get on to... I guess we'll get on to the main attraction first. Then we'll get on to the police car. And that main attraction, of course, being the Kwik-E-Mart itself, which is quite a big build. I'll use my hand for scale because... It's longer than my hand, I mean. It's quite big. And it's definitely heavy. It is over 2,000 bricks. Actually, my biggest set I have. That's complete. So that's pretty cool. But we'll look at the exterior first, then we'll get onto the inside because this has a massive interior with tons of cool stuff. You can kind of see that already. But on the outside, we'll look at the front. It does have the Kwik-E-Mart stickers. Mine are a bit damaged just from over the years. They peel, they break, they rip a bit. That's just how stickers get. But those two are stickers. That's an actual piece-built thing. And then on the front, we have the jackpot, of course, gambling, as we all love. And then Buzz Cola, which is nice. On here, we have the parking only signs. Again, a lot of the stickers are either peeling or just a bit damaged. But these ones are all pretty good condition. It's really just these that are a bit damaged. And we can see what that looks like there. We do not accept checks from Chief Wiggum, Reverend Lovejoy, and then a lot of Homer Simpson. Another parking sign on this side, and payphones, as well as a bicycle rack. Some people may not even know what these are, which is kind of unfortunate. But payphones are really cool. I quite like payphones. But we can move around to this side, I guess, with the dumpster, which will actually... Wow, that's dusty. I dusted most of this setup. We'll clean that up later. Inside the dumpster, there are 2 trash cans. That's under quite a bit of tension, actually. It stays on there well. But there are 2 trash bags. I meant to say not trash cans. That just look like this. They're the regular, like, sack. Even Santa uses it. But that's in black. And I lost the other one. Here it is. For this, on the side, there are some sticker pieces. There's a no dumping sign. Springfield Civil Code 77621. And then El Barto. And then wanted for treason. It's kind of funny. Air conditioner unit, old one. And then this one, which is the 30 Lost Cats. Which is crazy. We have this, which is like, why can't I, gutter system type thing. Little thing for that. That's a surprise for later. We'll show you how that opens up. You kind of saw already. And then on the back, there's not too much on this side. But on this side, we have the next right for the leftorium, I think that says, right? Yes. We have the employees only sign, this, which, don't know if you can see in there. You can kind of see it. I'll show you that in a little while. There's something, a little hidden thing in there. On this side, which is the final side we'll look at, on the outside, is the Spider Pig, of course, the musical, and the 3-eyed fish. So, Springfield Seafood, 50% more fish eyes. Interesting. Definitely a great place to eat. But we can move up to the top before getting onto the interior. And the top is actually pretty interesting. It has a little, I guess, kind of home garden. This is where you'd actually get in, although these doors can't actually move in, obviously. They're a bit small. There is the air conditioner unit on top, which is in purple, which is really cool. There's these skylights, which you can actually see in there. It is an actual skylight. If I had another camera, I'd show it here. Or let me try it with a flashlight. And it's a bit dark, but if we do this, that actually looks so cool. Wow, that's actually going to be... I may put that as my wallpaper. You can see how the skylights work. That's really cool. Kind of looks like an alien abduction in there. That's cool. But skylights do work, as you can see. I'm going to take a picture of that, and I'm going to make that my wallpaper, because that is actually really cool. Anyway, let's get on to the interior. Can't forget to mention this sticker, though. Apu and Mandula. Pretty cool. And we have this turned around for I'm going to try and open this one-handed. It's actually pretty easy. It's just on a single Technic pin. This piece moves out to this there. That's why there was that hole in there, if you ever saw that. That's because it opens up like that. And then this side can also come out. And you may be saying, why can't you get in here? Well, you can. Just pull that out. It's on these 3 big train base plates, actually, I believe those are. Which is kind of cool. But we can move on to the inside. I guess we'll start with the main section, and then we'll move on to the little side areas. The main section here is pretty cool. It has the cash register, of course, and the 2 little, what do you call those? Little aisles here, with even them having end caps, which is cool. We have the Kwik-E-Mart, yesterday's food at tomorrow's prices. Delicious. Chocolate milk, of course, unrefrigerated. Dog food, and whatever that is. There's some little things here, which I always imagine those as perfume bottles, but that doesn't really make sense at the food store. Maybe jelly. Here's where the bananas are. There's the apples, of course, and then you can actually take these off. Might as well do that. That'd be smarter. Crunchios. They just made the crusty, not the Krusty Krab, the Krusty Burger, which is a cool set. I wish I could buy it, but it's also $200, so I don't think I'll be buying it. There's a little can of soup up there at the top, and if we move on from this one, which you can see how that attaches just on the bottom, we can get on to the second one, which you saw the tomorrow's or yesterday's food at tomorrow's prices. Lovely. Another sale sign with these are the perfumes. These are the perfumes, I think. And we have diapers, of course, dry diapers even. This little thing. And on here we have some just green stuff. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know what I'm going there. Some more soups. I believe those are right. Yeah, soup. Soup for one. Cookies. Very nice. And that's pretty much it. It does have these stickers on them, as you saw, the sale signs, which is pretty cool. And we will move on to the cash register in a second. Cash register. Very good words. We can get into the freezer section, which you can already see one of my favorite things in the set. The frozen old man in the freezer, which is just a very cool printed piece. And this can actually be pulled out if you want to get to him. Or not printed, but a stickered piece, I believe. I can't grab it. There we go. Very cool. Is it stickered? Or is it printed? Yeah, it is stickered. But yeah, that can just go right back in there, which is really cool. And put this on and pretend like there's not a frozen dead man in your freezer, which is something we all want to pretend, but we all know there is. Anyway, there is milk here, ice cream up there, not even in like a little bucket or whatever you call them, can. And then there's orange juice, more stuff, little milk cartons. But yeah, there's some pretty cool stuff here. Did I mention there was stuff? Anyway, there's a security camera up here, and it has a single printed piece on the side as well. And now we can get into the cash register. And this one's going to be a bit harder to record since you can't take as much out. We will look at this little machine here, if it will come off. There we go. And this is the squishy machine. It has two little squishy things, and it does have one of the coolest pieces, which also appears in the Lego Ninjago movie blind bags. It is these. Obviously, in the movie, it's different slightly with the print and stuff, and color. But the squishy drinks, which I always thought were the coolest little pieces from the set, and always my favorite element from it. But yeah, these are really cool. These are single dual molded pieces with the trans clear top and then the green or purple bottom. But they're really cool. Now, if we scoot these out of the way, because we have limited space here, we have a little jackpot. That's for gambling. Oh, show you that. Or no, that's a city bank. Is it gambling or is it a bank? I don't remember. But we do have the cash register here, and we do have little drawers underneath. There is this, which will be important later. Or actually, no, this is its own thing. This is for the hot dogs, which is one on the floor. Very sanitary. And then just some unprinted napkins, I believe. But yeah, pretty simple. It does have newspapers, which I thought were cool. And I'm going to get each one of those out because you can't see any of them. And we can get onto the newspapers. There are 5 different ones here, if it'll focus, which it seems to never like to do. There we go. We have this, which actually appears in a bunch of LEGO sets. This one, which is exclusive, the Angry Dad one, with Homer, of course. We have Bumblebee Man caught in a sting. Very nice. The Mom Monthly, and then the You're Appealin'. Pretty cool. And to look at the last part of the front of the store, I should have done this for the cash register, actually. I'll put that here so you can kind of see what that would look like for a second. Yeah, now, let's look at the games. There's actually 2 games here. This one is missing its top sticker. Don't know where that went. Don't have it anymore. I think I have the sticker sheet somewhere. I just have no clue where or if it still exists, but I know I've had it at one point. There's this one, of course, the, what is that? Bone Storm? And it's pretty cool. Has the 6-arm guys on there. We have the Buzz Cola dispenser with the little cups down here. Put them all here. And, yeah. That's basically for the front, besides these little, I don't know what these are. Are these ketchup and mustard? That's what I always thought them was. Maybe they're a drink, actually. But yeah, pretty cool. Let's get on to this side area, and then we'll get on to the one behind the camera. And let's see if this approacher works for this as well with the overtop view. Well, we have this side, which is a bit different, obviously, from the other one. It has this coffee machine, which I'm actually going to try and pull out this, because this has some cool stuff on it that I think you should see. It has this very cool coffee cup, which appears in a couple sets, actually, including a Lego City set that I know of. But it does have these coffee mugs using transparent or translucent minifigure heads. And yeah, it's just a pretty cool little design, actually. I quite like that one. And that can just be on top of those little jumpers here, so you can easily pull that out. There's a donut stand with these pink donuts, which is pretty cool. And then over here, we actually have the hot dogs. That's why I was saying it was important later. It actually was. Heat lamp hot dogs. That sounds sanitary. And very not food poison nice. So that's where the hot dogs come from. Makes sense. And then there's a little crevice in between the two where that other hot dog has fallen. There's another security camera. And we do have the chocolate milk back there in the freezer. Also, we have the Easy Money machine, which is pretty cool. It must be for the... Is it for the bank or is the jackpot? Because that's the same logo, but it's a different thing. So I'm guessing this is the bank ATM, and then that's the gambling. I don't know. I haven't watched the show. Should I? Probably. But I haven't. Oh, here's two more newspapers. We have the... Let's see. The Inquisitor. And let's see. Let's Be Best Friends. Like a little card there. And then the Springfield Inquisitor. Scandal. Pretty cool. Now, we can get onto the last side, if that keeps jumping away from me. And we can get onto this side with the only freezer on this one, that having Buzz Cola, of course, and just some other random objects. There's a staff room, which I said we would talk about what's in it later, and that later has come. If we open this up, you can kind of see. There's the back of a rat, which was in there. It's very hard to see. It's a hidden detail. Let's see if we can open up this side as well, get a better view. There's rat and cheese, a very hidden detail that you wouldn't even see if you didn't open that employees only keep outdoor. Next thing we have, and the final thing we have on the interior, is the power sauce. And let me tell you, this is the most repetitive part of the build besides putting in those freezers. And it's more painful than the freezers too. You know why? Because these all are stickered. And you gotta get them right, or you mess everything up. But you make 6 of those, each one of them stickered, and then you have this power sauce guy. Pretty cool. And if you're wondering what the small text says, because you can't read it, it says, "Unleash the power of apples." So yeah, you can read it there. And that is pretty... Wow, that's bright. And that is pretty much it for the interior. Let's close this up, because it actually does still look pretty good as an interior, obviously, closed up, without the roof. Let's try and get that in there, not get it stuck in the thing here. And you can see what that looks like from a top-down view. With those two, where the cash register connects with those two machines, and you kind of see how it actually forms into a full, cohesive store environment thingamabobber. And also, I'm going to put some figures in here because I think it makes sense to populate it. And if it doesn't go blindingly white, you can see what that kind of looks like. They're all in very horizontal, actually. They're on the same kind of plane there, or line. But is Marge sticking him up, or is she buying a banana? Who will know? But Homer's finally found the frozen guy, and yeah, it's very cool inside. I mean, of course it is. There's freezers. And finally, we can move on from the Kwik-E-Mart and onto a very exciting part of the set. The little police car. And although it's not as impressive as the Kwik-E-Mart, obviously, it's actually a really good police car build. Actually, my favorite that they put in a Lego set for a long time. And it's pretty cool. It has some cool features. The one doofus, Springfield, USA, of course. Number 1 doofus. Lovely. Springfield police on either side. And I think those are stickers as well. Everything in this set's a sticker, basically. Which is the one downside I'll get to. But it has the 911 on the back. And then the number 1 doofus, of course. Again, it can open up. If you just pop out this top. And you can see there's a control panel and then, of course, a donut on the dashboard. Oh yeah, the donuts inside are also meant for Chief Wiggum, of course. But you can also put a guy in the back, although it's obviously uncomfortable. It's supposed to be. But you can put 2 figures in the front as well as 1 in the back. So let's put Chief Wiggum in the front and then Snake in the back. And I should mention, why does it go blindingly white? I should mention that you can take off this to actually get Snake in. So you don't have to remove the windshield, they already thought of it. If I can get that back in is the real question. And we have what it looks like with both figures in. And it looks pretty good. He finally caught Snake. If you're wondering where his tools and accessories went, the trunk opens, which you may have seen earlier, which is pretty cool. And you can, if it stops blurring, why does it always blur? There is a handcuffs, obviously, and his baton. Very cool. With everything looked at, we can get on to my final opinion. And you may have guessed my opinion on this set, given how happy I've been reviewing it. This is one of my favorite sets. Definitely top 3 that I own. So you can definitely see how much I like it. But one thing I will say, I know how painful it was, even it being 10 years after this set's release, probably 7 after getting it. I hate the stickers. There's so many stickers on this set, and they're so painful to put on, especially with a, what was at the time, I believe nearly, $250? Something like that. But it was expensive, this set. Which is why I'm surprised they still included so many stickers. I mean, they have 2 printed pieces, I'd say. Maybe 3. That being for the security cameras. But other than that, it's all stickers. So, that's the one downside. Other than that, it is possibly one of my favorite. It is obviously one of my favorite sets. And possibly has the best figures in terms of like quality and just weird and coolness out of all the sets that I have. So, I do hope you enjoyed. And I shall see you next time. But first, I must say thank you, because this is obviously the 250 subscriber special that I was talking about. Ooh, fancy. Yeah. This was planned a long time ago to be my 250 subscribers, and we finally hit that. So I'm so happy about that. 1/4 of 1,000, which is kind of crazy. But yeah. Very happy to be showing this off, and I do hope you enjoyed too. Oh, look at that. It says the guy's name, Matt Groening there. Very nice. But yeah, I do hope you enjoyed. I quite like this set, obviously. And I shall see you next time for, I don't know. I don't know what we'll be doing next time, but probably won't be as impressive as this set, because this one is very cool. Anyway, I won't waste any more of your time, because it's already been like, 20 something minute video. Ooh. Goodbye.